Hi again, it's me, and it's day 7 of the 30 days of healing. And I am super excited to be here at the end of the very first week of us coming together to heal ourselves and heal the earth and heal each other. And I'm actually pretty excited with myself that I made it 7 days straight. I was sure there was a day in there somewhere where I would kind of drop the ball and it didn't happen. So, woo, we did it, guys. So if you haven't listened to all of them, you don't need to listen in order, but you might want to go back and listen to the ones that you've missed. And contrary to the event on the Facebook page, we are going to do this for 30 days together. It's just that Facebook doesn't allow me to create an event that lasts longer than 2 weeks. So I'll correct that as best I can as we go along, so you know this goes until almost the end of July. So, unlike other days, I haven't felt Spirit's little nudge during the day to let me know what I'll be talking about. But then, as I was sitting there going, oh, I wonder if I'm going to record it now or if it's going to be later in the day like it has been, it all just kind of dropped right in and got my answers. So the first was that the gorgeous poster that you see behind me of Lake Oberon would be behind me, and that's in Tasmania, I believe. Cara can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Tasmania, in Australia. The other is that it's a pretty heavy topic that we're discussing today, and that is things that are coming up from our past again. And I don't want to say haunt us, things that are coming up for us to clear. They're not haunting us. They're not trying to make our life difficult. It's us being at a phase in our lives where we're ready to let another piece go to bring ourselves peace. Oh, you're funny, angels. So it could be various things from your childhood that are coming up, but the one that they want me to talk about is childhood abuse. And this can be from loved ones or family members or whatever. And it might not even be as a child. It's just abuse in your past. So abusive relationships as an adult do certainly count here as well. And the reason why we're talking about it today is to help ourselves to let that go. And I find it very interesting that this topic comes up today, which was maybe 2 days after one of my awesome long-term clients wrote me and said that they confronted their parents about abuse that had happened to them at the hands of a family member as a child. And I think that's been playing around in my mind, because then this individual went on to say that their parent confessed that they too had been through abuse as a child. And my first feeling of that was, that's obviously an energy or reaction or a blockage or something that you have online, a life path that we need to clear the heck out of your body so that it doesn't happen to your children as well. And we do that sometimes. I think a lot of people, they get hung up on the fact that genetically we have the same makeup as our parents. We have half the genes from each parent. And unless there's mutations occurring, we're roughly 50% of each parent. But science doesn't talk so much about the energetic blueprint that we pass on to our children. And so you can think that if you have a parent that suffers from low self-esteem and has not healed from that in their lifetime up until giving birth to you, that you also can carry that low self-esteem in your body. Likewise, traumas that have happened are something that need to be taken care of so that they don't repeat generation after generation. Likewise, this can also be a past life situation. So it might not be that your parents were abused, like this client who shared with me. It could be that in other lifetimes you suffered abuse, and in this lifetime you're ready to clear it so that you don't repeat that again. And that's a really noble and amazing thing to do as well. I know that many of you who have been wonderfully being here for the live videos and sharing your comments and reflections afterwards, many of you have already read my book. But if anyone who is watching this hasn't read it, there is a chapter there on the abuse that I went through in my past about 20 years ago. And the reason why I felt inclined to share my story was that I wanted other people to know that you could come out the other side and be whole and live an amazing life and be happy and have normal relationships. For I know that a lot of people that go through trauma at whatever point in their past find it difficult to move forward and to feel complete again in themselves in order to do that. And so that's what the angels want us to deal with today, is healing that and allowing at least the first steps to come forward. We can't do a full-on release all trauma of abuse from your body in one 5 or 10 minute live video. It's just not possible. But it's bringing stuff forward for you to start thinking about, and also for you to start clearing in and of yourself. And you can do it yourself. You can cut cords with the individual who you've had interactions with in the past. You can write an angry letter and get it all out and then burn the crap out of that. There's a lot of different ways to heal trauma. Today, they're just asking us to acknowledge it, that it's something we'd like to release and move forward. So sorry, they're reminding me, if you haven't read my book and you haven't heard about it, it is on Amazon. It's only in ebook form at the moment, and it's called Good Little Church Girl Ascends. And you can search for that in any Amazon store. And there's probably still a link up the top of my Facebook business page. You'll see the picture of the book. So it's not going to be an easy chapter to read if you resonate with what happened to me until you get to the end, because the end of the story is a good one, and that I've healed from that. I've seen what I've learned from that interaction, and then I've been able to move forward. And now, damn those angels, they're asking me to share even one step further than that. So in my healing journey, I've been blessed with some amazing people that I've worked with to help me to deal with my layers of trauma, and has brought me to the place where I am able to do that really deep, amazing energy healing for other people so they could heal their traumas. And in one such of my healings, it was brought to my attention that the reason why in this lifetime I went through date rape situation is that in another lifetime I was the instigator, the rapist. Whether I was male or female, I don't really know. And we do that in life lessons. In different lifetimes, we experience a situation from many different points of view. And so it would then unfolded over time that I've also had lifetimes where I was the loved one of someone who was raped, or I was the parent of someone who went through that, so that I've been able now over several lifetimes to experience what it's like to go through that trauma. And, you know, some might think that that's really hard to say. Well, in another lifetime, I found out I was a rapist. Well, yeah, it kind of sucks. But in the same regard, we are here on earth to learn every single emotion that there is out there. We're here to grow and learn and experience life as a human being. Because when we're spirit bodies or spirit beings or whatever you want to call them, we are in this place of pure and utter love. That's it. Like, God is love, if you like the word God. Universal energy, source energy is pure love, even more so than we can ever experience, except for maybe while we're in meditation mode and we get that awesome, beautiful, floaty, blissed out feeling. So when we're in that state, we aren't learning this wide range of human emotions. And yeah, it sucks sometimes. Like, you might be sitting there going, well, why? Why do I have to go through deep emotional trauma that was life-changing and horrible, and I suffered through it in order to be a better human being or learn how to be more spiritual? And I can't answer all those questions. What I can answer is that you chose the different soul contracts that you wanted to go through when you came to this life, the emotions that you wanted to learn. Now, if you wanted to learn compassion, for example, you wouldn't incarnate into a family that was full of compassion, would you? Because it's all around you. It's already there. So we learn the difficult emotions in life by being headbutted right up against them. I love how they're like, and now you're going to tell this story. So when I was a child, I remember my mom saying that, you know, if there's something that you want to pray for it. And as you know, I was raised quite religious. And so I thought, well, if I want patience, I'll pray for patience. And I said, oh, Lord, help me with patience, because I really don't have any. And then I was put in situation after situation where my patience was tested, and it was really difficult. And I was talking to my mom about it, and she went, well, yeah, you asked for patience, so he's teaching you how to be patient. I didn't like that very much. So I stopped praying for patience so that I did not have to go through learning it that way. But at the end of the day, if we're meant to, if we're ready to, we will learn those lessons. So that is what they wanted me to bring to your awareness today, is to just see if you can, detach is not even the right word. Give me the right word, angels. Displace. Okay. Displace yourself from a situation so that you can see what the learning might be from it. So people talk about, well, there can't be a God because babies die. But what did you learn in going through having a child pass away? And that's something I haven't had to experience, and I really hope not having to go through that. But yet I've healed many, many, many people over the years who have lost a child due to miscarriage, abortion, or stillbirth. And in those circumstances, and even like in young baby years, I think I've done one or two, in every single circumstance, when I go to do the healing on the individual, their baby's energy is there with them. I can see them, and I always see them flitting around on shoulders of the individual. And those babies are always so happy, and they always share the message to say, let my mama know I'm okay. Let her know that I had to do it for all of our learning, and I chose to do this, and she chose her path, and we learned from it, and we're here where we are today. And that baby always says, let my mama know I'm okay. And I love her, and I'm with her. And then that baby is there like a guardian spirit, angel, whatever you want to think of them as, with you from then on, making sure that you're watched out for. And that's pretty cool. And even like I worked with one lady, I think she'd lost 7 babies, and the sadness was pouring off of her, but at the same time she had this joy. And I was talking to her and trying to figure this out, and I said, I see all these little baby energies around you. And she said, 7. I've lost 7. And they were all with her still, and they were all bringing her joy and wanting her to be peaceful and happy. And so, yeah, it's hard to think of life this way, of the lessons that we've chosen for ourselves to experience the whole range of human emotions. And it's not easy, but when we allow ourselves to disassociate from that present moment and stand back looking at it, we can see the lessons. And that's the place where I'm at now with my rape story. I was able to tell it in my book and release it there. And that was yet another level of healing for me. And I do not wish any ill will upon that man anymore, because as someone pointed out to me, his soul chose to be the one to teach me that lesson, and I chose to be the one to have that lesson. And that was our soul agreement of why we would come together. For a lot of people, that's a difficult concept to understand, and I understand that might be for you. But I ask you to just ponder it. Ponder the disassociation part of it, and see if it helps you to release some of the emotions associated with any type of trauma that you've dealt with up until this place in your life. And to see it for a situation that occurred, not something that happened to me, but something I chose to experience. And they're telling me we're done. That is the end. If you'd like to share below, please feel free to do. You can ask any questions of me also, and I will do my best to respond. And if I don't have the answers, I'll let the angels kick in, because it's easier that way. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to share this video, like it, give it to your friends, tag them, whatever, if you think that it will be of benefit for them. Although if it's about the trauma aspect, be a little wary of tagging them. Maybe just let them know that it's there and share it with them in a private message instead, so they can still watch the video. As it's public, anyone can see it in private message as well. Sending lots and lots of love and angel blessings to you all.